Welcome back to the Atlas Solutions podcast. My name's Brian. He's Chad, and we're joined again by Atlas Chief TikToker Abigail. Today we're going to take you through some Apple, or maybe not Apple centric tech news. Hey, Chad. Hey, Ab.
Hey guys, how are you? So we were talking earlier about college, and locally here in the Charlotte area, we had a big hack in, unfortunately, Central Piedmont Community College, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the biggest community college in the United States, or it was at one point. So I went there when I was in high school. I did dual enrollment. It's very close to my heart. Lots of people around here go to CPCC, and even some close friends that we know, especially during the pandemic, were maybe at another college and decided, hey, I'm not going to waste my time in a dorm room here. I'm going to go back home and do some CPCC classes. And Brian, even you directly affected by this hack. So
yeah,
I want to roll back
certifications and stuff, but they got hit with, I guess, the crypto locker, and
yep.
You can't, there's no school. Like, it's got shut down.
Well, I wanted to talk about a couple different things. One, actually last week on the podcast, we talked about the Apple malware hack, and I actually referenced a story about Crypto Locker. And so I know we're a couple of weeks in here, but we're big on cybersecurity. You never know when it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when basically, not if. It's when is something bad going to happen, and are you prepared? Do you have proper backups and all that? But I talked last week on the podcast about how these Crypto Locker viruses or hacks or whatever, they'll kind of do a multi-layered approach. They'll kind of get in maybe at one level and then wait for a little while until you've done a bunch of backups, and then they'll hit you. And then when you start to restore from your backup, you restore their malicious software, and then they hit you again in the middle of a restore, and you're totally hosed. So, kind of the lesson to be learned, I think, from a technical perspective is, some people are stuck on this older infrastructure. They're stuck on old servers and they haven't updated yet. Maybe they're running an old version of Windows. They don't have proper backups. They're not virtualized. There's a million reasons why this could happen, but it's a matter of, are you prepared for that attack? Now, on the personal level, though, I think it's super important to talk about how essential technology is to everyday use. So, Abigail, you're in classes right now. How much of your classes are computer-based?
Yeah, all of my classes are online. I'm enrolled in 5 classes right now. Every single one of them is on Zoom. I do live in the college town. I go to Chapel Hill, so I live in the city of Chapel Hill, but it's not necessary because every single one of my classes are online. We don't use Blackboard. We use a website called Sakai, which a couple of I know Duke uses it, but it's the same premise. Our assignments are assigned to us there. They're graded there. We can talk to our teachers there. Some teachers prefer us to talk to them there over email. Everything is there. Our syllabus, our ratings, everything we need is online. So similarly to CPCC, if something like that were to happen to our Sakai site, we would have no other option. We would be out of luck. So I definitely feel for my friends who do go to CPCC. I know my little sister is enrolled dual enrollment right now. She's a senior in high school, and she's just had to stop classes until March 1st, until everything comes back, because she has nothing. So I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't know is that we're talking about lots and lots of data here. So even the restores, it could take days or weeks depending on how much data. And Brian, did CPCC shift? I had heard that they were just going to throw Blackboard out and they're just going a totally different direction. Is that right?
My understanding is there's another platform called Brightspace that they had some classes were already using. And from the correspondence I've read from the university or from CPCC, the college, they were already, they were planning on moving. So basically they just, in the middle of the semester, this happened, and Blackboard's gone. They have no access to anything that was on Blackboard. It's, I think, wiped out or completely encrypted, and they're not paying for it, So they're basically have to transition in mid-semester. So all the instructors are building brand new classes mid-semester to kind of get things back. And a lot of people got to learn how to use a new platform, which, that's a completely different issue probably.
Well, and from the tech perspective, I want to talk a little bit about what CryptoLocker is. So essentially, encryption, for those who don't know, encryption is just taking data that we would call plain text, means you can read it and understand it, and we're just going to scramble it up. And the way to unscramble it is with the encryption key. It's just a big, basically, file of text. And that's the encryption key. And that's how you unencrypt the files so that they're readable, legible. And so the CryptoLocker virus is, okay, I'm going to sneak on your computer one way or another, and I'm going to start encrypting your files, scrambling the data so that you can't read it. And then when you stumble on one and open it up, it's going to say, whoops, this thing has been encrypted. If you want your encryption key, which the hackers do have, they do have it, we need to be paid in Bitcoin. And if you watch the news right now, Bitcoin is, I think, at $57,000 a coin. So, it's a lot. So, of course, you can do fractionals. But I knew of a customer in the past that they ended up paying the hacker, I think, $5,000 or $6,000, and they got their encryption key back. The hackers know that. They know that if they never gave the data back, they'd never actually get paid, right? People would just lose their butt. So, the lesson to be learned here is have awesome backups. Back your stuff up all the time. And that goes for the individual and for corporations. Unfortunately, when it hits a school like this, it's just lots of data, lots more recovery time, and it affects a lot of people. But, if you're a small business owner or even an individual, you want to have backups and backups and backups, different types as well, because the recovery process is going to take longer depending on what type of hack you're maybe experiencing. So we try to do a variety of backups where you've got disaster recovery, you have versioning, you have all these different things, because data can get corrupted, even accidentally. Like you might have all your data and your backup is corrupted, and now you're backing up the corrupt data. So you have to have different varieties and all that. So if you have questions about that, reach out to us and let us know, and we can try to look through that stuff with you and for you. So, well, Abigail, hopefully your stuff does not get hacked, and you can continue your classes. And Brian, enjoy the break.
Yeah,
until
your spring break was already supposed to be like next week or something. So I don't know if that's canceled or not.
Yeah.
I would take another break. Part of me wishes ours was hacked. I don't know. I'm like, I could take off a couple weeks. I have one professor. I have one professor refuses to use the website. I don't know if it's from this or for something else, but he sends us everything in the email. He does not put anything on that website. He just doesn't trust it. So at least we still have that class.
Yeah, I think that this is really going to kind of open people's minds up. Like the pandemic stuff kind of forced us to use the technology. I remember when back last year, we had customers say, have you or Brian ever heard of Zoom? And it's like, yeah, we've been using it for years. And now everybody knows what Zoom is. I mean, to do what we're doing right now nobody did that a year ago, especially to record it and post it. So it's kind of becoming the new norm. But the other shoe hasn't dropped yet. We're going to see kind of what that means. And you're going to have teachers like your teacher that's sending email that's like, haha, I still have my stuff. You guys are all screwed and lost all your data.
Yeah.
And they might be the last one laughing there. So again, we got to move forward with technology. It's here to stay. So it's just a matter of learning from other people's mistakes and all that stuff. So, well, thanks for joining us. Comment. We'd love to hear back from you. I think I mentioned last time, if you have been hacked and you want to tell your story, I'd love to hear it. So comment and let us know. And we'll reach out and hopefully we can help you if you're in the midst of that. Hopefully not. So actually, if you're in the midst of it, don't reach out. We don't want to help you with that. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great week and we'll see you next time.